Stress today is at record levels, and with it comes a surge in cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol is essential for survival, yet when it becomes imbalanced, the effects ripple through nearly every system, from energy and mood to sleep, metabolism, and even memory. Too much or too little cortisol can create chronic health problems. The good news, simple science-backed strategies can help bring this hormone back into balance. By learning how to regulate cortisol naturally, it becomes possible to restore harmony between stress and recovery. These 7 methods offer practical, sustainable ways to reduce stress, stabilize energy, and protect long-term health. With consistent application, each of them can retrain the body to respond calmly to stress and support better quality of life. 1. Adopt a healing diet. Food is the foundation of hormone balance, and diet directly determines how cortisol behaves in the body. Refined sugar and processed grains cause sharp spikes in blood sugar, which force cortisol to rise again and again to stabilize energy levels. This cycle leaves the body exhausted and the adrenal system overworked. Replacing these foods with whole, unprocessed options prevents dramatic highs and lows and allows cortisol to follow its natural rhythm. Eliminating processed oils like soybean, corn, and canola reduces inflammation that also drives hormonal stress. Instead, the focus should be on healthy fats like avocado, coconut, olive oil, and grass-fed butter. Clean protein from pasture-raised meats, wild fish, or legumes provides stability and supports muscle repair. Vegetables, herbs, and low glycemic fruits add fiber and antioxidants that buffer the effects of stress. Over time, this diet retrains the body to remain calm after meals, avoiding the roller coaster that destabilizes cortisol. A healing diet is not a short-term fix, but a daily practice that protects long-term hormone health. 2. Reduce daily stress and promote peace. Lifestyle stress is one of the most common reasons cortisol remains elevated. Every deadline, argument, or lack of rest pushes cortisol higher, and the body never fully recovers. To change this, the nervous system must be retrained to associate daily life with safety and calm. Simple habits like hydration, walking, and laughter have an immediate effect on lowering cortisol. Gratitude journaling, visualization, and mindfulness practices help shift focus from fear and uncertainty to peace and possibility. Brain training exercises, or neurobics, stimulate new pathways that make the brain more adaptable to stress. Reducing stimulants such as caffeine and sugar also prevents unnecessary cortisol spikes. For those with food sensitivities, removing irritants like gluten or dairy reduces inflammation that keeps stress hormones high. Spiritual practices such as prayer or meditation provide inner calm, while supportive relationships and playfulness bring balance to the mind and body. When practiced consistently, these tools create an environment of peace where cortisol is no longer chronically elevated. The body learns to recover faster from stress and remain resilient. 3. Optimize sleep. Cortisol naturally follows a 24-hour rhythm, rising in the morning to give energy and falling at night to allow melatonin to rise. When sleep is disrupted, cortisol remains high at night, leaving you wired instead of rested. Consistent, high-quality sleep is one of the most powerful ways to reset this rhythm. Going to bed and waking at the same times each day trains the body's clock to align with natural cycles. Exposure to morning sunlight strengthens this rhythm, while reducing artificial light at night prevents melatonin suppression. Creating a dark, cool, and quiet bedroom helps the nervous system settle into deep rest. Balanced meals that stabilize blood sugar reduce the chance of waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. with a racing heart caused by cortisol surges. Caffeine intake should be limited to morning hours to prevent overstimulation. When sleep becomes predictable, cortisol begins to rise and fall at the right times. This translates into stronger immunity, sharper memory, better mood, and steady energy. Good sleep is not just rest, it is hormone therapy for the body. 4. Practice deep breathing. Breathing is a direct line to cortisol regulation. Rapid, shallow breathing signals danger to the nervous system, keeping stress hormones high. In contrast, slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling safety and allowing cortisol to drop. Practicing deep breathing for just 5 minutes each hour can reset the body's stress response. It reduces inflammation, calms anxiety, and improves digestion by shifting energy toward rest and repair. Over time, intentional breathing trains the nervous system to stay calmer even under pressure. Research shows that deep breathing also lowers blood pressure and improves heart rate variability, both markers of resilience. People who practice consistently often notice sharper focus, steadier mood, and improved sleep quality. The technique is simple, requires no equipment, and can be done anywhere. With daily practice, deep breathing builds a buffer against stress and prevents cortisol from spiraling out of control. It is one of the most powerful yet overlooked tools for hormonal balance. 5. Ground yourself in nature. Modern life surrounds the body with artificial environments and electronic frequencies that add to stress physiology. Grounding or direct contact with the earth helps reset the body's systems. Walking barefoot on grass, soil, or sand connects you with the earth's natural electromagnetic frequencies. Research suggests this simple act reduces inflammation, normalizes cortisol rhythms, and improves sleep quality. Just a few minutes outdoors can restore calm, improve mood, and reduce fatigue. Combining grounding with sunlight exposure strengthens circadian rhythm, further balancing hormones. Many people report reduced pain, better mobility, and more consistent energy after practicing grounding daily. Seniors and those under chronic stress may find it especially soothing and restorative. It requires no special equipment, only intention and consistency. Over time, grounding helps the body remember its natural balance and shields against the overstimulation of modern life. This small habit can profoundly influence cortisol control and overall well-being. 6. Replenish magnesium. Magnesium is a key mineral for balancing cortisol, yet most people are deficient. Low magnesium levels contribute to headaches, fatigue, anxiety, insomnia, and muscle cramps, all symptoms linked to stress overload. This mineral supports more than 300 enzymatic reactions, many directly related to energy production and nervous system stability. Adequate magnesium intake calms the nervous system, supports neurotransmitters, and relaxes both muscles and the brain. It improves sleep quality, helping cortisol drop naturally at night. Forms like magnesium glycinate, malate, and threonate are especially effective because they are well absorbed and act inside cells. Dietary sources such as leafy greens, nuts, and seeds should also be emphasized daily. Restoring magnesium levels improves heart rhythm, reduces inflammation, and supports mental clarity. For many, correcting deficiency becomes a turning point in overcoming stress-related fatigue. Consistent intake makes the body more resilient, reducing cortisol surges during daily challenges. Magnesium is not just a supplement, it is a foundation for stable energy and hormone balance. 7. Use adaptogenic herbs. Adaptogenic herbs strengthen the body's ability to respond to stress. Ashwagandha is one of the most researched, shown to reduce cortisol by up to 26% in stressed individuals. It also enhances focus, mood, and endurance. Lemon balm calms the nervous system, reduces anxiety, and promotes better sleep. L-theanine, naturally found in green tea, increases alpha brainwaves, producing a relaxed yet alert state. These adaptogens do not suppress cortisol completely. Instead, they help regulate production, preventing both overload and burnout. Taken regularly as teas, extracts, or capsules, they provide gentle but powerful support. They are most effective when paired with lifestyle strategies like diet, sleep, and stress reduction. Over time, adaptogens restore balance in the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal axis, the communication system that controls cortisol. They also support other neurotransmitters like dopamine and GABA, further improving mood and resilience. Consistent use helps prevent exhaustion and strengthens the body's ability to stay calm under pressure. Cortisol, blood sugar, and insulin. Cortisol is one of the body's main tools for keeping blood sugar stable, but when it remains elevated, the balance shifts in harmful ways. Normally, cortisol signals the liver and muscles to release stored glucose when energy is needed, especially during stress. This is helpful in short bursts, but with chronic stress, blood sugar stays elevated far longer than necessary. Constant high glucose forces the pancreas to produce more insulin, leading to a state of insulin resistance. Over time, this reduces the body's sensitivity to insulin, pushing blood sugar even higher and increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Many people notice cravings for sugar or constant hunger as early signs of this imbalance. Fat begins to accumulate around the abdomen, which further increases inflammation and hormone disruption. High cortisol also interferes with the body's ability to use ketones as fuel, leaving energy levels unstable. The cycle of stress, high cortisol, and rising blood sugar can be broken only by stabilizing diet, improving sleep, and calming the nervous system. Addressing these factors early helps prevent long-term metabolic disease. Cortisol and the immune system. Cortisol has a dual role in immunity. In small amounts, it reduces unnecessary inflammation, but in excess, it suppresses the immune system. Under normal conditions, this anti-inflammatory effect is protective, helping the body heal without overreacting. However, when cortisol is chronically high, the immune system weakens and loses efficiency. White blood cell activity slows, antibody production decreases, and the body becomes more vulnerable to infections. This explains why people under constant stress often experience frequent colds or take longer to recover from illness. High cortisol also fuels chronic inflammation in hidden ways, contributing to conditions like autoimmunity and joint pain. Low cortisol, on the other hand, leaves the immune system unchecked, which can cause exaggerated inflammatory responses. Either extreme, too much or too little cortisol creates problems for immune balance. A resilient immune system depends on rhythmic cortisol levels that rise and fall naturally. Protecting this rhythm is one of the best ways to stay healthy year-round. Cortisol and brain health. Cortisol has a powerful impact on the brain, influencing both memory and mood. In short bursts, cortisol helps imprint strong memories of stressful or emotional events which historically protected survival. However, prolonged exposure to high cortisol damages neurons in the hippocampus, the brain's center for learning and memory. Studies link chronic stress to memory loss, poor concentration, and increased risk of cognitive decline. Excess cortisol also disrupts neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, fueling anxiety, irritability, and even depression. Over time, the brain becomes less responsive to cortisol signals, leaving the stress response system impaired. Low cortisol can then reduce alertness, motivation, and resilience to challenges. Maintaining healthy cortisol levels is therefore critical, not just for the body, but for mental clarity and emotional stability. Supporting brain health through deep sleep, magnesium, and adaptogenic herbs creates a buffer against stress. Protecting neurons from cortisol overload preserves memory, focus, and long-term cognitive function. Cortisol is not an enemy, but a survival tool, and balance is the key to using it well. When levels stay too high or too low, the result is fatigue, cravings, poor sleep, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. The 7 strategies outlined here, healing diet, stress reduction, sleep optimization, deep breathing, grounding, magnesium, and adaptogens, offer a comprehensive, natural approach to restoring balance. Each method works differently, but together they retrain the body's stress response system. Balanced cortisol leads to steadier energy, better memory, stronger immunity, and improved mood. The transformation comes not from quick fixes, but from consistent habits practiced daily. Small steps, repeated over time, create lasting resilience. With awareness and action, anyone can reset their cortisol rhythm and reclaim vitality.